Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Joie de Vivre, a bilingual podcast in English and in Spanish about living life joyfully by finding beauty in what you do and learning not to give a dog's rip if people do agree with you or not. So the energy for this podcast is basically a major stream of consciousness, dark humor, food and boozy talk, fitness, shade, messy behavior, and pop culture references that make sense to probably the older millennials and the people older than that. My name is Carlos Carcamo. I am 33 years old. I live in New York, previously from Atlanta and McAllen, Texas. Been here for about 2 weeks now, and it's been quite a journey. This podcast to me is mainly about expression, educating, and bringing light into subjects that not a lot of people are comfortable talking about, and giving love, man. Giving light, which is what I do best. It took a while for me to realize that's the purpose I have here in life, and that's all I can do, you know what I mean? So anyway, we're going to kick things off and start with the first thing, which is #AskCarlos. So in my Instagram account at Carly Grigio, I would post stories with the questions, ask me a question, because I'm pretty good at giving advice, I've found. And I say that because people are always asking me, hey, I need your opinion on this, or hey, so I've had this happen to me, or like my boyfriend is telling me this, or my girlfriend did that, or my mom is saying this, or my mother-in-law, just all these questions, man. And it always happens that every time I go out, I always have strangers coming up to me. Now, I am always, this is the thing. So I love going out by myself because I'm comfortable with myself. I love my company. I just know how to have fun with myself. I love going to the movies by myself. I love going out to drink by myself now. And before, I would never, because I'm like, oh, what a loser. You know what I mean? I would be like, no, people are going to think, this guy, all loner. He's just out, being all creepy. And of course, I never thought that about myself. But I always had that, no, people are going to think some weird shit about me. Until I just stopped giving a fuck. It was mainly because I wanted to go to all these different places. When I would travel with friends, there would always be a specific bar or restaurant I would want to go to. I was craving sometimes, I don't know, I just craved something different than what everyone else was hungry for. Or I wanted to listen to a different kind of music that everyone was into. Nothing wrong with it, but since I have such a diverse interest and range in music, I just wanted to go in and listen to it, you know what I mean? At a different bar or at a different kind of environment. But I would find that a lot of my friends, they would come with me, but it wouldn't be their jam. They would and I can tell their expression, their conversation, they were bored, they would pull out their phones, they just weren't into it. And I'm like, well then no, then don't come. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate you coming with me so I wouldn't come alone. But the last thing I want to do is make you feel uncomfortable in a place that I like to be in. Now, this is a place I like to be in, that I enjoy being around, or the type of music that I want to listen to. And I place myself in their shoes. For the same purposes that I wanted to go to a different place, because sometimes I'm not always comfortable in what my friends like doing. And that's normal and that's cool. So I decided to just go out by myself. Really, it's that simple. And really have a good time. Just enjoy the ambiance, the music, the drinks, the sights, the sounds, the smells, just everything about it. I just found it so fascinating going out by myself. So anyway, the point of the story, since I've learned to go out by myself and really truly enjoy my company, so I would go to a bar and it'll always happen that someone comes up to me. Mind you, my body language is closed. The door is closed. I am just facing the bar. I am looking at my phone. I am catching up on social media, looking at all these stupid memes. I am chatting with my friends in the group chat. especially from back home, because I really don't get to see them often unless I travel back to Texas, or in this case, back to Atlanta, or both. And, just shooting the shit, like, with my friends and just really having a good time. My cocktail, the music. I'm really, like, I am in my element. So, again, I am, like, busy. Like, I am, like, just looking at my phone, like, no, not even, like, looking around. No, I'm literally, like, body language, the door is closed. Someone comes up to me all the time and just starts to make conversation. And at first, I'm like, bro, like, leave me alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to talk. Like, I don't feel like talking. Like, I'm just here to just literally have a good time. Like, I'm not here to talk, Well, unless you're like a hottie, then okay, yeah. Or like, you know what I mean? But no. So, and don't get me wrong, I've gotten, and yeah, I've gotten hotties come up to me and things like that, striking conversation and all that. But anyway, no, that's not the point. The point is they're always coming up to me, but they always have a problem that is weighing in on their mind. And I realized this is what I'm here for. Not to like meet people at bars. No. But people will gravitate toward me because they need my help. They need me to help them get to where they need to be. How? I do not know. Like, I'll never know the answer to this. I magically always have the right answer for them. I connect with people easily. Could be the empathic abilities I have. I'm very sensitive in terms of kind of like gauging their feelings. It's almost like I can read their minds without like, I don't know. Like, I can't read minds, obviously. But I mean, I just know what they're feeling. It's almost like I know what they're saying, But anyway, so it's like I get in their head, I get into their emotions, and I'm able to just tap into that and use the information that I know. Luckily, with this type of experience, I've been able to make so many friends, and all the friends I have, they range with all my interests, which is also why I can't have like a birthday party with all my friends, because everyone is so different and not everyone is going to like one another. Like, everyone is just, you know what I mean? Like, I have different groups of friends because I have such a wide range of interests, and I'm blessed and I'm lucky, Anyway, the point of this is because of every experience that I've learned from all these friends, from families, from these strangers that literally come up to me all the time and just start like shooting the shit with me, I'm able to get answers for them because I have this knowledge. Like, what am I going to do? Just fucking keep it? No, I'm going to share what I know. And I'm going to share what worked for those people that are similarly minded or feel similarly to these people. Again, because I'm really good at sensing their emotions, that I can almost read their minds, I can kind of help them like, hey, this is what I know could have happened to me. Like, hey, this happened to me one time, or this happened to a friend, and this could work for you. So, hey, man, I hope this truly works out. I know it can be hard, and, just don't give up, keep your head up, just things like that. Very motivational, because I do believe in that. I believe in I believe in motivating people to go up there and go out and do what they truly feel or what truly will make them happy. Because I truly feel that happiness lies within you. This is like the corniest shit I've ever said, but it is so true. You yourself know better than anyone else, no matter what everyone else tells you. Like, no matter what your parents tell you, your significant other, your family, like, it does not matter. Your friends, it doesn't matter. They only see a version of you, but you see everything else. Like, your own eyes capture what your heart determines where you need to be. Your ears, your eyes, every sense of you, nobody knows but you. Because I'm like that. Which is why people gravitate toward me, I feel. Because I give off that vibe. I give off that energy. And that to me is the most authentic thing I can ever provide, or that I can ever give you. Just be yourself, man. As corny as it sounds. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. Hello, Joyce. So, yeah, man. So, anyway, where was I going with this? So, you'll find that I go on I will go off on fucking tangents. This is the first goddamn episode, man. Oh, yeah. Hashtag Ask Carlos. So we're going to go into hashtag Ask Carlos. I got some really good questions. So anyway, in my Instagram, I receive a lot of questions because, again, I have this little hashtag Ask Carlos, which I am now transferring over to the podcast to give it a wider range, to give it a bigger audience for more understanding. And so I can expand, because within a story, an Instagram story of 10, 15 seconds, while it's cute in that moment to just kind of answer those questions, sometimes it's not enough to really expand on the subject within that time frame. So I think it's important that I do it like this. So the first question that I want to open the segment with is, so I have a predicament. I can't stand my mother-in-law. I want to cut ties with my husband's family because they are rude, ungrateful, and only come around during holidays. My husband is all for not talking to his family, but how do we keep them out of our lives? I told you about my son. So basically, the background is this person's son may potentially have autism, but in order to properly or accurately diagnose what kind of autism, or even if he has autism, that this kid has, they need to give a specific time period. And if I remember correctly, it may have been 6 months to about a year, or if the kid is potentially autistic. So back to the question. I told you about my son. My mother-in-law refuses to believe he has autism. So first of all, I feel for you and your situation. This is not an easy thing at all. Being a mother is not easy. Being a parent is not easy. I'm not one yet, but it's not easy. But knowing or potentially learning that your kid may have a specific disability or a specific condition is even more difficult. However, I commend you for looking for all resources just to see, whether he has it or not. And even if he does, all right, how can we fix this? Or how can we treat this? How can we make this easier? So anything that's a plan of action, anything that gets you away from just thinking about it and actually doing something to help your kid, help your son, at the end of the day, that to me is what matters the most. When you facilitate things, when you act, when you move, when you do shit to get things done. Now, as for the mother-in-law, it's very inconvenient, I know, because your priority is your son, okay? Your priority is your son and your immediate family, your husband, your son, you, and really that's like the core, what you truly are focusing on. I understand that, mothers-in-law and dad and fathers-in-law, family-in-law can be just the most inconvenient thing ever, and they can be the cuntiest, and they can be just the most miserable pieces of shit. I've seen it happen with family of my own. I've seen it happen with friends, and it's just all around horrible. However, I think it's important to realize that family does have feelings as well. They worry about, in this case, your husband, and they worry about their grandson, your baby, your kid. It's important that we acknowledge that even though they don't want him to have autism, they do have a right to feel that way. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but they're not doing it to piss you off. They're not saying it to get a rise out of you. I understand that the last thing on your mind is trying to satisfy them or trying to give them, any thought at all. If you've had terrible history with them, I understand. However, they're coming out of a place of concern. They want to make sure, or I'm hoping they want to make sure that, everything can be done. More tests can be done to avoid him going into that. If they don't want to accept it, at the end, that's on them. That's not on you. I get it. But, we cannot disregard their feelings. They're still family. They're still tied to your son. It's a very difficult situation to be in. And sometimes people don't know how to react. And just know that whenever it comes to family, even if they are the ones that hurt the most, at the end of the day, that hurt comes from love. That love comes from concern. And we need to acknowledge sometimes that, they hurt too, Well, they may be the most pieces of shit ever, but they have feelings, So, again, keep focusing on your son and keep, doing what you're doing. You're doing great. I know the situation. We've had talks about this previously when I go back to Texas. So, we've had these conversations before, and just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing awesome. Don't give up. At the end of the day, you know that your priority is your son, your family, and that's the only path that you need to follow. If it gets to a point where your mother-in-law gets to you, talk to her, listen. Listening is very important. Even if you know that whatever she's going to say, but just give her that piece of, just give her that peace of mind. Sometimes people just want to vent. They just want to be heard. They want to feel like their opinion is heard, especially when they're family. Even if you don't take it, even if you don't accept it or whatever, but you give them that respect in terms of, hey, what's on your mind? I'm sorry you feel that way, and I understand he's your grandson and you're worried, you're concerned, but at the end of the day, I am doing whatever is best for my son, and he's my son. Yes, he's your family too, but trust and believe that I will do everything and anything for my son, and I will go to the end of the world and back, and I will do anything for my son. So just know, trust and believe that whatever path I'm going with this is because I know best. Because you're raising him, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, just, talk to your mother-in-law, and if she just keeps going on and on and on, then, just be like, no, bitch, yeah, no. I gave you that time. Okay, don't call. I mean, if y'all get along with it, then yeah, fuck you, bitch. Get the fuck off. But no. Just, hey, I acknowledge your feelings. I understand. And I appreciate your concern for feeling that for my son. And I appreciate that support. But I would appreciate it more if you would support me in the decisions that I'm making. At the end of the day, if you don't want to believe that your grandchild is potentially autistic, I feel that's something that you need to deal with. That is it. So good luck with that. Please let me know what happens, because I'm very, very curious in terms of the diagnosis and also the situation with the mother-in-law. So again, thank you so much for submitting that question. The second question I have for y'all today is it normal to stalk your ex's page? Oh my God. Really? Isn't it isn't this part of an everyday activity, culture type of thing? Of course it is. Well, it's normal to me. I don't know about y'all. Look, so I'm crazy, I'm nosy, and I just want to know everything. Yes, it's completely normal. Whether you do it really visibly is up to you. I prefer not to. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't stalk all of my exes. Not all of them, because some of them I really didn't really care for, and some I really do. Some I really did. Especially if I care for them, I want to know how they're doing, I mean, mainly I want to know that they're doing okay. And I want to know that they're doing fine, because I think about them, But defining stalk. Okay, so just checking up on them online, yeah, totally normal. I would never do the physical stalking. I would never do the physical stalking. I have friends that have done it, and oh my God, it is fucking nuts, man. The level, and I thought I was very sleuthy because I have these ways of finding everything out. And even if I don't even if I myself don't go out and research the information will come to me. This shit always happens. Even if my friends are not, which usually happens. I try to date outside of my friend groups, which was something very smart on my part, because when I started dating, unfortunately, they were like friends of friends, and when it doesn't work, it doesn't always end well. So I had to distance myself from a lot of friends because, things didn't work out with, it would not work out with whomever I was dating at the time, but, that doesn't always happen. But anyway, so you know what? Your exes do it too. And don't always trust when they say like, nah, I don't give a fuck and blah, 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 bitch. Yet you're back. Like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Like, people love just denying shit. I don't deny shit. I've done it. It is what it is, I'm nosy. I'm curious. So yes, it's normal for me. If it's normal for you, hey, just know who to tell. Always have like the friends, have like your tight knit group of friends that you can like literally just, your little group chats or whatever. Like, no, I do that. Like, I'll be like, oh my God, can you believe this? Like, and this is the thing, like, because social media is such a fucking snitch, man. Like, Snapchat and Instagram snitching on you, like, oh, so, you took a goddamn screenshot. Bitch, no, fuck you. So always have like a separate phone where you can snap a photo with with the camera, ping it to your phone and send it to your group chat and be like, oh my God, look what this motherfucker is doing, or look at this, you know what I mean? Like, no, like, you have to be smart about it. And you also have to find like your friends who are, that you can talk that shit about, you know what I mean? Like, my friends and we're like, I don't know why the FBI has not like hired us. We gather so much information, it's not even fucking funny. Now, what we do with that information, we just disseminate it like within each other. Like, that never gets out. Like, even then, we respect like our ex's privacies. Well, up to a certain point, up to that group at least. But outside of that, because we don't want that shit coming out. No, bitch, you stay the fuck away from our exes too. But yeah, that's because I'm fucking crazy. But yes, it's totally normal. And if they say like, no, whatever, that, they don't do it. I mean, first of all, don't even bring it up to them. I think that's like one of those subjects that should go like untold, like with your exes and things like that. Like, I mean, unless that you and your, current significant other are tight or whatever. But okay, this is the thing. If I'm in a relationship, I will not, like, and I repeat, I will not stalk like my exes. I will not. You know what I mean? Like, once I'm in a relationship, like, I'm fucking locked. That's it. That's just me. I can only speak for myself. But once I'm in a relationship, I don't like stalk. I don't go back. I don't know. Once I'm in, like, that's it. Like, I have no other eyes. And for my boy, whomever I'm with, like, that's it. Like, once you have me and once you lock me in a relationship, that's it. We dying together, bitch. No, but other than that, like, no. I don't think I would even talk to them, to be honest. I would not do that personally, but if you do, I'm pretty sure you're not the first or the last one to do it. So it is what it is. Just like if your current significant other, if he knows about it and you're all cool talking about it, then whatever, and then fuck what I say or fuck what I think, you know what I mean? But if he doesn't know, or that he's not down with that, then just be very careful. Delete history. Like, Instagram is, again, a fucking snitch. Like, Instagram, Facebook, with the recent goddamn searches, you have to delete that shit. Like, even if he doesn't check your phone, delete that shit after you look at that. Or create like another account. I'm telling you how to be bad, man. Okay, so create like another account, like a Finsta, a fake Insta. Usually what I do, no, I don't. But what friends have done, like, they'll have a fake Instagram. So the smart thing to do is get on your friend's phone, like, hey, let me borrow your Instagram, and get on that Finsta or whatever. And usually it's like their pet dogs, you know what I mean? Like they'll be like on their pet dog little, accounts or whatever. So get on those on their phone and search the fuck away. Just search, and stalk all you want. If you and your friends are cool like that, then do that. But do it on someone else's phone. Don't do it on your phone, because any trace, any evidence, like that's just, you just don't want to have that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's normal to be curious. It's normal to just be like, what is he up to? What's she up to? What they doing? Who they with? Are they better looking than me? Shit, these are these are questions that need to be answered, and if no one else will answer them for you, then you fucking go and get the fucking information. Shit, fuck. So, but yeah, just do it on someone else's phone. Don't do it on your phone. That's what I can suggest. But yeah, it's totally normal. Anyway, going on to my next question. Hi, Carlos. My question for you today is, are you monotheistic or do you believe in many gods? Personally, I am monotheistic. I believe in one God. If you believe in many gods, ain't nothing wrong with that. Whatever gets you going, whatever higher power or higher powers are able to get you through the day, are able to give you peace, are able to bring serenity and calm, mindfulness, love, light, that is truly what ultimately matters. A lot of people they may call it God, Jesus Christ, Buddha, Allah, universe, spirit, intuition. There's just so many names for it, but at the end of the day, whatever you believe in, that is ultimately what matters. Doesn't matter what I think, what churches think, what your family thinks, what your friends think. The only thing that matters is what you believe in, and you yourself know better than anyone. Again, reminding you all, so your way is the right way as long as it works for you, and fuck what everyone else thinks or says. So, but yes, I do believe in God. And it's so funny, I'm not well versed in the Catholic religion. I actually find their churches very aesthetically pleasing. I find so much calm being inside a Catholic church whenever I've gone inside one. Even though that's not my religion, I consider myself Christian, but I'm not a religious-y type of guy. I'm not one to read the Bible. I don't really know much. Not really my jam. Not knocking it, nothing against it. But I would rather hear the sermon at church and whatever story they're talking about. And in that moment, I will relate it to something that I have gone through about. I'm not going to go and read the Bible, piece by piece and, analyze it. My dad does it. My grandparents used to do it. I have family that does it, and obviously people at church and everything, and I respect that 100%, 100. But that's just not my jam. I truly and honestly believe whenever I go to church, and it always happens, whatever sermon is given that day, something relating to it had happened the week prior or during that week. So that to me is my kind of Bible study, whatever word I'm receiving at that time, my brain starts processing it and connects it with my heart and spirit, and it just makes it sense for me whenever it happens. So, but anyway, so going back to the Catholic churches, there's just something so calm about them. I don't know what it is, but every time I'm inside one, it's I feel so relaxed and I just feel so at peace. I don't know what it is, and I find that fascinating. Had to share that interesting bit. So my next question is, hey Carlos, is it possible to love more than one person at once? I believe it is possible. I think with the matters of the heart, if you mean romantically, I do believe so. Now, you may love those people in different ways. I in my experience, I've fallen in love up to now twice, and I truly believe that third time is a charm, and that is the last and ultimate one for me. And I think here in New York, that's where it's going to happen. Only because being here and reaching my maximum potential and evolving into my true self. And why I say the third time's a charm, because the third and last time that I'll fall in love, and that'll be it, you know. But anyway, so I've fallen in love twice, and with both guys, I up to now, I mean, I love them both, you know, in their own way. You know, I love them, you know, so it is possible, even though I'm not like with them in a relationship or whatever, I still love them, and I'll always love them. I feel that love doesn't go away, it transforms, it evolves. It may go from a romantic feeling of love into a more kind, or a kinder and just more nostalgic, but yet just you'll always have love for them. I think it is possible to love two people at the same time. Being in love with two people at the same time, it could be possible. I don't know if that's ever happened to me, like simultaneously, because in my experience, when I've been in love those two times, I mean, they were at different times of my life. When the second love of my life arrived, I was not in, well, actually, no, I was in touch with the first love of my life. But at that point, we had already moved on. He was already dating somebody else. At that time, I was dating that love interest, and my previous love had already, he had someone else. So we were friendly, and and this is the thing, we're all friendly now, not like all together, like all three of us. No, that would be weird though. But I mean, no, because one of them doesn't like the other, even though the other one doesn't know about the other. But why am I even saying this? But it's never been in a situation where I've been in love at the same time. I think now it's been transformed, but it is possible to love two people at once. But just be careful, be cognizant of the situation you're in. Don't hurt anybody. Loving people, and it's so hard because loving people is, you think about it, and it should be the greatest thing on earth, but it can be the most hurtful thing as well. There is a strange dichotomy with love in terms of how you use it and what intention you have behind it. As long as you are loving but being respectful, if you're with somebody else, unless there's an agreement or that's your jam, your type of relationship, like a non-monogamous relationship, a polyamorous relationship, then yeah, but as long as morally you and your significant other, or if you guys are even together, like, hey, just don't hurt each other or respect each other. Same thing with the other person. But it is possible to be in love with two people at the same time. I feel if it's not for everyone, not everyone feels that. And just because not everyone feels that doesn't mean that it's wrong for you. Remember that there are many people out there like you. Like you, there's nobody else. First of all, there's nobody else like you. You are here because you bring something to the table, who you are. But there are people with the same feelings, with the same interests, with the same type of, with similar ideas. So there's always someone similar to you. No one ever like you, but someone similar to you. So even if people around you don't think that way, doesn't mean it's wrong. Don't, as long as in your heart, it's not wrong and you truly feel that way, then you're right. Don't go with what anyone else feels, even if it's unconventional for them. It's not for them, it's for you. At the end of the day, you're going to live life for you, not for them. And you're going to be dealing with yourself for the rest of your life, not everyone else. So you have that choice. But yes, it is possible to love more than one person at the same time. And I'm telling you from experience, I love both of those previous loves of my life, and I'll love them forever. But when the third one comes around, that's it. All right, let's move on to the next question. I'm not going to do a lot of them because I really go into depth. You know what I mean? So I'll save some for the next podcast or for the next episode. I'll do 2 more questions and then I'll wrap this shit up. The next question is, what does it mean when I keep seeing the same signs over and over? What does it mean? It means fucking listen to those signs. If something is coming up to you over and over and over, that means you have to follow that. I believe that you bring out, when you start noticing things, I believe that you are seeing what you truly want. When you are going through a phase in life, and it could be when you are at a crossroads, or it could be whenever you are not happy, and you truly know what you want, you feel it. Maybe you don't know how to articulate it. You don't know how to go out and do it. But you are going to put that out there in the world that you want it so bad that it's going to come to you in the form of signs. So signs is a universe's way of telling you, yo, look at me. Look at me. And if you see it, and you know there's something about it that connects to you, be second guess yourself, which is normal. At first, when you don't fully know what you can do and the power that you have, it's normal for the first time to just kind of okay, well, I don't know. But then it comes again. That means yo, I'm fucking talking to you, bro. Yo, hello, I'm here. I came to you twice. Fucking listen to me, follow me. Trust me, I'm here. Hello. So that means listen to those signs, man. That means follow those signs. That is just another way for your inner voice, or it could be God speaking, universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it. That is just another way of your intuition, of your gut, of God, of Jesus Christ, of the universe, of the spirit, whatever it is, once again, telling you, listen to me, follow me, trust me. Don't fear where I'm going to take you. So that means open your eyes. Wake up. That's what it means. And it goes deeper than that, obviously. But whenever you start noticing signs, you're slowly waking up because you're slowly realizing where you need to be, where you want to be, where you're destined to be. So don't ever ignore those signs and follow them. Even if your family doesn't understand, even if your friends don't understand, listen to those signs. Listen. So every time I hear the word listen, I always think of, the first thing, I always think of Christina Aguilera's Voice Within. Because at the end of the song, when she's riffing away, it just goes and listen, listen, listen. And the second thing I think of the most is from church, because every time or before we would go into a sermon, because I used to be in my previous church at the Virginia Highland Church, holler, back in Atlanta, great church, recommend, should go if you are into that, but even if you're not, it's still cool. Anyway, listen to the word that God has spoken, listen to the one who is close at hand, listen to the one that began creation. Listen even if you don't understand. And that resonates a lot with me. Listen even if you don't understand. So when I was saying earlier how when you see a sign, you don't even know what it means, that's just really you waking up slowly, because that is something that is taking you to where you need to be. It's the world, the universe, God, whomever you want to throw the ball to. It's their way of telling you, this is what you want. This is what you're here for. Even if you don't know it now, trust me, this is where you need to be. This is where you're going to be the happiest. This is what is going to bring you to your true self. And even if you don't understand, listen. And once you start listening, you start waking up, you start seeing it. Trust me. It'll make sense, slowly but surely. But the more you trust it, don't be afraid of it. Go to it. Because you again, out of everyone else, you know that is true. So just listen to it. Even if you don't understand, listen to it. And just be ready. And we're going to go into my last question. This is a really long-ass podcast. God damn. So the final question comes from a very special person that I love to the moon and back. So this person was one of the people that I met in Atlanta that brought me to come back into my passion of writing, that and I truly believe was a sign. And just talking about signs earlier, he is a great sign that I'm so grateful to have in my life, even if we don't live nearby, we don't live near each other anymore. And I've told him that I love him dearly, that he's been one of my greatest inspirations. He's a very special person to me, and this is a great question. So the question is, do you believe we can change the world? If yes, how do you think we can do it? 100% we can change the world. And how do I think we can do it? It all starts with you. What change do you want in the world? Whenever we want change, we're not happy 100% in that moment in our lives. When we want change, we want to change for the better. We want to change to be the best. We want change because we're not happy at that place in our lives. So how does it start? Change yourself, grow, develop, see your areas of opportunities, see what needs strength, see what needs strengthening, see what needs to go above and beyond to get you to where you need to be. Be the change that you want in this world, because once you change, you become that change, you'll inspire others to do it. People are going to gravitate toward you and they're going to want to change. Trust me. I can guarantee that. I've lived through that. The changes that I've made, not only coming to New York recently, but leaving McAllen to get to Atlanta for a better life, People back at home, obviously, they miss me and they want me to be back, and I would love to be there and be omnipresent, but I'm not God, but I would love to. But I did get a lot of, I admire you for doing what you're doing. Like, you have balls to go out there and do what you want to do. You have balls to go out there and achieve your dreams. You have the balls to go out there for a better life. I admire you. That causes an inspiration in people to change. Maybe not do the same things that you do. Maybe not go as extreme. Maybe to you that's not something extreme. But to them, even the smallest thing, basically the change in you doing something to improve your life, to gain happiness, to find joy, to find happiness, to find love. And I'm not talking just relationship-wise. I'm not talking just romantically. I'm talking about the ultimate love, which is yourself. Once you get to that place where you want to change because you want to love yourself, once you get to that place in your life, when you make the change for the better, when you make the change to find the ultimate love, which is love for yourself, that is going to change the world. That is going to help change the world, because it's going to start with one person. And I'm not trying to go all Lady Gaga with, there's 100 people in the room, there's 99 people, we got 99 goddamn problems, and only one of them wouldn't. I don't know, whatever the fuck she said. No disrespect to the monsters. Truly, with one person, it starts. Just one person. Just like, and I'll wrap it up like this, and we love full circle moments. Because of what you've done and your passion for writing, you've helped me change for the better. And for that, I am eternally grateful. Or you helped me get to where I am changing for the better. You helped me get there, where I'm finding love for myself more and more every day, despite what others feel that is, or despite what others feel what is a better love. And everyone is going to have difference of opinion, but at the end of the day, I know myself better than anyone else. But because of you, doing what you do, just writing and being so passionate about it and having that dream and not giving up on it, that inspired me to do the same. And on that note, that concludes the first episode of the Joie de Vivre podcast. I love doing this shit. I love doing this shit. So follow Joie de Vivre on all social media, jdv.me on Facebook, Instagram, and the website, joiedevivre.me. I know it's taken me a while to come into fruition with a podcast, but timing is of the essence, I believe, and there's a reason why it took me a while to get here. There's a reason why it took a while for me to release this first episode, but new episode at least once a week. Until next time, love you all. Love yourselves. Be cool. Don't be all uncool. And see you next time.